Hi, I'm Nick Abrahams. I spend a lot of my days advising people on how to comply with privacy and cyber regulations. It used to be relatively simple, but recently it's become far more complex as more regulators are taking actions against companies on the basis of privacy and cyber breaches. Now, it used to be that we just needed to think about one act, the aptly named Privacy Act, and one regulator, the Office of the Australian Information Commission. But three more regulators have now become involved. The corporate regulator, ASIC, the financial services regulator, APRA, and the competition regulator, the ACCC. So when you are assessing your regulatory compliance from a privacy and cyber point of view, it is critical to consider your exposure to each of these regulators. Now, the OAIC has been regulating privacy compliance for many years. It's well understood that if you fail to comply with the provisions of the Privacy Act, you will need to answer to the OAIC. This may be in relation to getting the right consents to use people's information, how you protect people's personal information, and most notably, you need to report to the OAIC if there has been a data breach in your organisation. In the 6 months to 30 June 2020, there were 518 data breaches notified to the OAIC. The OAIC may choose to investigate the cause of the notified breach and is empowered to fine organisations for poor privacy practices. But also the OAIC can issue enforceable undertakings against organisations. These undertakings can be very expensive to comply with. Generally speaking, the OAIC is a well-known regulator. It is clear what the issues they will be interested in are. More novel considerations are those that arise from the involvement of the other regulators. Earlier this year, for the first time ever, ASIC commenced a privacy-related action against a financial services company. ASIC claims that the company's risk management systems, with respect to cyber security and cyber resilience, were inadequate. The company in question was the subject of 6 separate hacking attacks in the period 2017 to 2020. ASIC contends that this poor cyber hygiene actually amounts to a breach of the Corporations Act requirement for an organisation to have adequate risk management systems. Now, the maximum penalty the company could be exposed to is the greater of $11 million or 10% of the company's turnover. So quite significant downside risk for the company. Equally, APRA has quite specific privacy, cyber and technology systems requirements for financial services companies. These are imposed via Prudential Standards CPS 220 and CPS 234. Finally, the ACCC has shown great interest in regulating privacy breaches. In late 2019, the ACCC issued proceedings against Google, alleging false and misleading representations. The ACCC alleges Google misled consumers to believe their location history was not being collected when the location history setting was turned off. However, there was another setting that also needed to be turned off to stop Google collecting the location data. That case continues. So my takeaway is that when considering how you comply with privacy and cyber regulations, please ensure you think more broadly than just the Privacy Act and the OAIC. These days, data is the most important asset for any company, and the regulatory landscaping is expanding to cover the expanding use cases for that precious data. Thank you.